All right, we are on Leviticus 15, bodily discharges. Ooh, like ejaculation and periods, like period blood. All the juicy bits. This is where we get to the juicy bits. All right, bodily discharges on page 71, left hand side, halfway down. The Lord said to Moses and Aaron, give the following instructions to the people of Israel. Any man who has a bodily discharge is ceremonially unclean. Unclean. Defiled. All right. This defilement is caused by his discharge, whether the discharge continues or stops. In either case, a man is unclean. Any bed on which the man with the discharge lies and anything on which he sits will be ceremonially unclean. So if you touch the man's bed, you must wash your clothes and bathe yourself in water, and you will remain unclean until evening. If you sit where the man with the discharge has sat, you must wash your clothes and bathe yourself in water, and you will remain unclean until evening. If you touch the man with the discharge, you must wash your clothes and bathe yourself in water, and you will remain unclean until evening. If the man spits on you, gives you that hot you must wash your clothes and bathe yourself in water, and you will remain unclean until evening. Any saddle blanket on which the man rides will be ceremonially unclean. If you touch anything that was under the man, you will be unclean until evening. You must wash your clothes and bathe yourself in water, and you will remain unclean until evening. If the man touches you without first rinsing his hands, it's like, caught it. What's up, brother? All right. If a man touches you without first rinsing his hands, you must wash your clothes and bathe yourself in water, and you will remain unclean until evening. Any clay pot the man touches must be broken, and any wooden utensil he touches must be rinsed with water. You dirty, dirty boy. You filthy, filthy man. When the man with the discharge is healed, oh, this part's good. Okay, this is funny. When the man with the discharge is healed, he must count off 7 days for the period of purification. Then he must wash his clothes and bathe himself in fresh water, and he will be ceremonially clean. On the 8th day, he must get 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons and come before the Lord. Oh, he already came. And come before the Lord at the entrance of the tabernacle and give his offerings to the priest. What if we come for the Lord? Sorry, inappropriate. All right. Like, are you allowed to jack off to an image of Jesus? Is that offensive too? I imagine so. Probably more so. I don't know. All right, we're moving on from that topic. That's a slippery slope. All right. On the 8th day, he must get 2 turtle doves, 2 young pigeons, come before the Lord at the entrance of the tabernacle, give his offering to the priest. The priest will offer 1 bird for a sin offering and another for a burnt offering. Through this process, the priest will purify the man before the Lord for his discharge. Whenever a man has an emission of semen, he must bathe his entire body in water, and he will remain ceremonially unclean until the next evening. Any clothing or leather with semen on it must be washed in water, and it will remain unclean until evening. After a man and a woman have sexual intercourse, they must each bathe in water, and they will remain unclean until the next evening. All right. This is all BS, but whatever. Moving on. Whenever a woman has her menstrual period, she will be ceremonially unclean for 7 days. Anyone who touches her during that time will be unclean until evening. Anything on which the woman lies or sits during the time of her period will be unclean. If any of you touch her bed, you must wash your clothes and bathe yourself in water, and you will remain unclean until evening. If you touch any object she has sat on, you must lick it. You must wash your clothes and bathe yourself in water, and you will remain unclean until evening. This includes her bed and any other object she has sat on. You will be unclean until evening if you touch it. You'll be a dirty, dirty boy. That's gross. If a man has, hold on, if a man has sexual intercourse with her and her blood touches him, her menstrual impurity will be transmitted to him. He will remain unclean for 7 days, and any bed on which he lies will unclean. Be like Moses, parting the Red Sea with my penis. Just kidding. Sorry. Not the time, right? We're reading the Bible. Come as you are. That's all right. Um, Man, I'm playing till evening. Hold on. I lost my place. Blah, 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 blah. Touching if a man has sexual intercourse with her. Okay. Her menstrual impurity will be transmitted to him. He will remain unclean for 7 days. Any bed on which he lies will be unclean. If a woman has a flow of blood for many days that is unrelated to her menstrual period, or if the blood continues to be beyond the normal period, she is ceremonially unclean. As during her menstrual period, the woman will be unclean as long as the discharge continues. Any bed she lies on and any object she sits on during that time will be unclean, just as her normal menstrual period. These things, you'll be ceremonially unclean. You must wash your hand, clothes, and bathe yourself in water, and you will remain unclean until evening. When the woman's bleeding stops, she must count off 7 days. Then she will be ceremonially clean. On the eighth day, she must bring 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons and present them to the priest at the entrance of the tabernacle. The priest will offer one for a sin offering and another for a burnt offering. Through this process, the priest will purify her before the Lord for the ceremonial impurity caused by her bleeding. This is how you will guard the people of Israel from ceremonial uncleanness. Otherwise, they would die, for their impurity could defile my tabernacle that stands among them. These are the instructions for dealing with anyone who has a bodily discharge, a man who is unclean because of an emission of semen, or a woman during her menstrual period. It applies to any man or woman who has a bodily discharge, and to a man who has sexual intercourse with a woman who is ceremonially unclean. Yada 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 yada. All right, that's not something we abide by anymore. I mean, if you hook up with a girl that's like on her period or something like that, just take a shower. Like take a shower afterwards. I wouldn't go down on her, but to each their own. Whatever floats your boat. We got medicine shit nowadays. We're good. STD starts spreading around. Boom, more jobs, more research scientists. We need more people in the medical field. So we'll solve it. We're good. Humanity's evolving. Look how far we've come. Look at all the dumb stuff we're not doing anymore. Sacrificing animals, like giving people shit just for wanting to jack off and beat themselves off, or give a little flick the bean a little bit. Yeah, I have no problem with that. Yeah, we're just gonna move on. Pretty much ignore that whole chapter.